Hey folks, it's update time. I'm exhausted at this very moment. I just walked down to Timmy's, grabbing my coffee. I'm not even sure when I walked last. Been a while. Oh, so now I gotta recover. So this camera tends to, I'm using my Panasonic here. First time using it for this. I never planned on using it for this, but I don't feel like setting up microphones and everything, so I figured, okay, it's good at picking up my voice, but it's also really good at picking up background noises, so I'll be quiet for a second. If you hear, it's raining. So I didn't feel like, I just planned to come out, do this, go to Timmy's, grab a coffee, that's it. And I didn't feel like getting everything all set up just to go out into the rain for, a minute or two. So I decided I'm just going to walk down, which is what I did. And now I'm going to pay the price, but that's okay. So, rain. It's winter, it's not supposed to be rain. That's okay. I don't mind because I don't have to shovel rain. So I'm looking at the forecast, and today is 23rd. It's Saturday morning. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning right now, and it's 1 lonely degree above freezing at the moment. But according to the forecast, Christmas Day, 2 days from now, is supposed to be plus 10. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but I'm pretty sure that's in the 40s. Wow. Remember last Christmas? They ain't gonna be anything like that this year. Oh, that's crazy. And there's really nothing there. There's snow squalls coming right after Christmas, but there's no storm system on the way at all for the next 2 or 3 weeks at least. So I did get asked a question or not a question, but somebody mentioned in the comments they're looking forward to see how much snow we get this year. And so far, we got a snowstorm at the end of, Halloween night, end of October, there we go. And we got one not that long ago, whenever it was, and we got a little bit of snow here and there since, but not much as far as accumulating goes. So if this is global warming, thank you. I like this. I don't have to shovel snow much, and I'm all for that. But either way, we have years where we don't get much. We get years that we get constant. So hopefully this will continue, and this will be one of those years that we don't get much. 1941 or 1944, I can't remember, it was in the 40s. It was known as the year without a summer. So apparently it was really cold all year, and farmers really never had an opportunity to plant their crops, and that it was pretty bad. I was in the 40s. It has nothing to do with climate change. So I'm hoping this will be the year without a winter. Let's put one of those in the record books. I'm all for that. But, this is Canada. I'm supposed to accept whatever weather we get. So, whatever comes, I guess. Hello! What was that? I think that was a hook. I only see one thing on the floor here. I found a cable one day when I was out at the conservation area, and I think, no, actually that's no, but it was a hook like this. It was on the end of it. I don't even know where that came from. I don't have a clue. Stick it in this box here for the moment. But that particular hook I used as the hitch for my bike trailer when I first built it. So I know that's not it, because it's completely different. But anyway, losing my voice already. I think I was done talking about that. Year without a winter. Being Canadian, I'm supposed to accept the weather. Yeah, I'm finished with that topic. I get interrupted. So, be a green Christmas this year for sure. I had an incident in the house yesterday. I'm still getting angry at things. And the toilet flush handle broke, so I went out, bought a new one. I just changed this, like, I think last year, maybe the year before, but you know, it wasn't that long ago. So I was surprised that it broke again. It's like cheap plastic, right? Like really cheap plastic. So I got another one. I was trying to change it, and the chain attaches here, and when you push the handle down, it lifts the lever up, which opens the flapper, I think it's called. And I don't know, for some reason, the end of it is broken off. I'm not sure how, but so that the handle came off. And this is inside. This is on the outside of the toilet tank, and this is on the inside. So you tighten this nut down. Get it down there. And this holds it tight against the tank so it can't move. Well, after this broke, all that's left, I was able to take this off the inside. So all that's left is this attached to the hole in the tank. So I hit this cheap plastic nut, and the problem is that the inside of the tank is insulated. So we got this, I think it's styrofoam, and it's just kind of got a cutout around it's really hard to get any kind of wrench on there. I'm trying to use my hands, and I don't have the grip strength to really grab. I'm trying to unscrew it, and it won't move. So I got Ken to help. Ken's always my go-to when I need strength. He couldn't get it. So I think, oh great. So we never seem to have any tools in the house, so I just came in the house. I bought this while I was out. It was cold yesterday. It was like 5 degrees below freezing. And I don't know if I wasn't feeling good or whatever, but I was really feeling the cold yesterday. So I really didn't want to come back out to the garage. I already got undressed, but I couldn't find anything that would work. I even found a C-clamp, and I tried to use that, but because of that insulation underneath it, I couldn't get a grip on it. So I come out here, I got my channel lock pliers, and I'm trying to unscrew this. I can get it to move a little bit. Sorry, let's see, you can actually see it. But I don't know if you can tell, but the nut is like all chewed to crap. And the reason for that is because even the channel lock pliers, there wasn't a lot of space to get grip on this. So I'm trying to move it, and it's slipping off. It's chewed the crap out of this plastic nut. But I got it to move. I could move it, but it wasn't loosening anything. Nothing was happening. So I'm thinking, okay, it's plastic on plastic. Maybe the threads are stripped. So downstairs we have a pry bar at the front door, and the reason that's there, it's not a weapons purpose, but it could be used for that, self-defense. But the reason it's there is because our front step has a crack in it, a crack in the concrete. And every once in a while, I don't know how he does it, but the dog gets his chain in it. And it's not like it's on a corner or something. The chain will slide by, and as he pulls pressure in it, it pushes in. It's flat sidewalk, and somehow his chain gets down into that and gets jammed in there. So we gotta get the pry bar out and spread the pieces of concrete apart to get his chain back out. So that's why it's there. So I went down to grab that. And this little tab here that's sticking out, there's very little room, but I was able to, like right at the top here, there would be a bit of a gap. So I was able to get the corner of the pry bar into there, and I'm trying to pry this forward without putting too much pressure on the tank, and I don't want to break the tank. And if I can pull this forward while I'm trying to loosen this nut, then I can pull it forward far enough where it's going to reach the threads that are not messed up. That was the plan, but it still wouldn't work. No matter what I did, I couldn't get this nut to come off. So I'm getting really frustrated now and getting angry. And I just kind of gave up to take a break. And I just kind of, trying to loosen it this way. So just before I stopped, I decided to go the other way, just to see if I could wiggle it back and forth to see, how free this is going to be. And all of a sudden the nut got loose. It's like, what? So as it turns out, this is backwards thread. Why do they put a left-hand thread on a toilet flusher? As far as I can see on here, disconnect chain linkage from old tank lever and turn nut clockwise 3 mil. Okay, so it does say, I was trying to read that without my glasses, so it does say clockwise, but it doesn't. Why? I don't get it. It makes no sense why you would put a backwards thread on a toilet flusher. But I got it anyways. That was way more frustrating than it needed to be, I'll tell you. That's a simple job. And I don't remember that last time. The last time I changed it, I don't remember that. Oh. If it happens again, after that frustration, maybe I will remember. So, here's one for you. I went to Timmy's the other morning. I'm sleeping twice a day right now, so I'm just kind of up whenever. I go until I can't keep my eyes open anymore. Then I'll sleep for a little bit, and then I'll wake up and do whatever, and then I'll sleep for a little bit. So at the moment, it's twice a day, and I'm sleeping, but I could probably sleep 3 times if it's not full sleep, so it's not like I'm losing any of the day. I'm just not sleeping a full amount. It's just broken up. So I can be up at any time of day now. So I've been up in the mornings, and like 4 o'clock in the morning, I decided to go down to Timmy's, and we got snow that night. I think that's why I went out. I wanted to go for a drive in the snow. Not a lot, just like maybe an inch. Maybe 2 inches, not a lot, but it was really windy. We had snow squalls. I think that was from the storm that the East Coast got. That big nor'easter that affected them so crazily. I think it was at the end of that storm, because we never actually got that storm. We just kind of got the the back end of it that's pulling all the cold air down, and it was a lot of wind associated with that storm. So we got the snow squalls after it passed. So I wanted to go out for a drive. I got to Timmy's, and this is what I see. Okay. Those line painters, I'll tell you, man, they're just not with it, right? Absolutely nothing to do with the line. So not only is he parked on the wheelchair ramp itself, like completely on it, he's also blocking both disabled parking spots. So nobody can even park there because of this, right? I'm thinking, why? So I'm like immediately angry. And I decide, no, I'm going to say, first of all, I checked to see if there's anybody in the van. There's nobody in it. It's running. There's nobody in it. So I decided to wait, and I got my lights on, and guys in the store can see me. And I just decided to wait, and the whole time I'm sitting there, I said, don't get angry, don't get angry, don't get angry, right? Gotta, keep my wits, just be calm. So they come out, and the guy asks me, "Do you need us to move?" Perfect opportunity to lose my cool, but no, I didn't, thankfully. I just said to him, "Well, you are parked on the ramp." And he says to me something really stupid. He had a strong language, so I may have heard him wrong. A strong language, a strong accent. So I may have heard him wrong, but it sounded like he said it wasn't blocked when we parked here. I'm thinking, well, of course it wasn't, because if it was, you wouldn't be able to park there yourself, right? But I think what he meant to say, what he was trying to say, was they weren't blocking anybody when they parked there. I think that's what he was trying to say. But that doesn't make it right. You know, it's like, oh, you can park there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You're not blocking anybody until someone shows up, right? It's just, illegal is illegal. It doesn't matter what time of day you do it. Oh my god, yeah, I robbed the store at night. There were no customers, so I figured it was okay. You know, I don't know, but it just kind of made me laugh. Well, it wasn't blocked when we got here. Okay, so I guess that was it. I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about as far as that goes. So I'm having an issue with the strobe light on the back of the Monster. It's like, oh no, not this time of year. I've already got a new one ordered. It's doing that thing where it won't stay on its flash pattern. Yesterday, when I noticed it yesterday, I noticed it a couple days ago. And when I backed into the garage, it was on a really weird flash pattern. Actually, yeah, I think I've noticed it before that. One of the days when I was talking to a police officer, I remember that because I remember wondering, you know, what he was thinking of the strobe light as I was driving away. Because it was a weird, it wasn't my normal flash pattern. I like that. The 3 bursts, 3 multiple bursts and a pause, then 3 bursts and a pause. I like that one. That's the one I usually keep it on. And it stayed on that pattern this whole time. And I went looking for the one that I bought so I could rebuy it and get the exact same one. So I won't have to, you know, alter the holes and everything like I did when I bought this one. Turns out I bought that November 2020, so that thing has worked perfectly for 3 years. And then all of a sudden it's just not working anymore. So I guess that's not too bad. I don't remember what I paid for it. It's $22.90 something now. So, but I'm not going to see it till at least the end of January. It's been shipped, but delivery date is January 17th to February 7th. So I have no clue where it's coming from. Obviously, it's not coming directly from Amazon. If it's going to take that long. But who knows? I've been in that situation before, and I've got it like 2 days later, so I don't know. But even if I do get it, I'm probably not going to change it yet. I just... I still have no energy to do anything. And I just really don't want to work out in here in the cold, and I don't know. It depends on how urgent I feel it's going to be to have that light working. I just got to remember when I'm out, especially if I'm on the road, that light, you know, might not be on at this very moment. Because when I was out yesterday, I fixed it twice, and at one point it wasn't even working. It wasn't even on. So it stopped working altogether. And I turn it off, turn it back on, and I play with the switch on the back, up on the camera supply strip there. I got a switch inside there to change the flash pattern with, and I get it to where, you know, the 3 bursts. And then I got home here, backed into the garage, and it had changed. It was still on, but no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I got to McDonald's to grab my coffee, and it had changed. And by the time I got home, it was off again. So that's not a good thing. I kind of rely on that being there. That's why I put it there in the first place. Especially this time of year, we tend to get a lot of gloomy weather, and you know, the sun comes up later and it sets sooner, so most of the time I'm out, it's going to be dull and dark. And if it's snowing, I really want that light flashing to get people's attention, right? Because they're going to see that before they see me. So, I don't know. I might change it. I don't like working with wiring in the wintertime because it's stiff. It doesn't like to bend. But, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how urgent I feel it's going to be. And we'll see what the weather's going to be like at, a month from now. Who knows? Yeah, we'll all see. So, that's all I have for, as far as stuff that's been happening. But, actually, I'm gonna take a quick break here. And I'm gonna look at a couple things before I talk about this. I have an incredible story here. I'm gonna take a quick break. Okay. Took a nice break. I think I have my voice back now. I just put my glasses back on. Now they're cold. Actually, I think I'm kind of chilled now too. Sweating from walking. I'm sitting with my coat open. Oh. So I went to Timmy's at the right time. It's raining harder now. I looked outside and it's half wet snow. So I'd rather have raindrops because they don't stick to you like the wet snow does, and then it starts to melt and just everything gets a little icky and wet. So like I said, I've been sleeping twice a day. So when I do sleep, I'm not getting that really deep sleep, so it doesn't take a lot to wake me up. And I got woke up by the scanner. Fire department got a call. And it was a barn fire, it was out of town. And I wasn't going to get up. I was just listening to it, closed my eyes, never got up. Just closed my eyes listening to it. And I heard something that absolutely horrified me. And I was immediately awake, my stomach knotted up, and I immediately sat up and said a prayer for the firefighters involved.
Attention, North Huron Fire, Wingham Station. North Huron Fire, Wingham, please respond 39420 Glen Road. Apologies, 39420 Glen Road. Crossroads there, Holmes Line and Gibbons Line. Responding for a barn fire fully engulfed at this time. Possible exposures next to the building. Again, address of 39420 Glen Road. Time of second page at 10:28. It's December 18th. Wingham Fire, please respond.
Fire dispatch, North Huron Car 2.
Car 2, go ahead.
Eagle Mark Car 2 responding.
That's Roger, Car 2, you're responding. Time now 10:30:22.
Fire dispatch, North Huron Car 1.
Car 1, go ahead.
Intro Car 1 responding.
Roger that, Car 1, you're responding. 10:30:56.
Fire dispatch, Car 2.
Go ahead, Car 2.
Dispatch going to request a tanker from Teeswater, Howard Township, as well as Lucknow.
Roger that, Car 2, you're requesting tanker support from Teeswater, Howick, and Lucknow at this time. I'll get those paged out.
Fire dispatch, North Huron Engine 1.
Engine 1, go ahead.
Dispatch, you can show Engine 1 responding Bravo plus 5 Belted. To Glen Road.
Roger that. Engine 1, you're responding Bravo plus 5 Belted, 10:32.
Fire
Fire dispatch, call tank 4.
Tank 4, go ahead.
Fire dispatch, you can show tank 4 responding to firefighters belted.
That's Roger, Tank 4, responding with 2 belted. 1032.
Fire dispatch, car 2.
Car 2, go ahead.
Show car 2 arriving scene. Let's put a call into EMS, OPP, and Hydro 1 as well, please.
That's Roger, car 2, you're on scene. We do have OPP EMS responding. I'll just call Hydro as soon as I get it. Teeswater and Howick paged out, lock those en route.
Yeah, Roger, just stand by. I'll give you more information here in a bit.
That's
2, engine 1. Go ahead, engine 1, car 2.
We're going to come out Holmes line. We're going to turn right or left onto Glen.
Yeah, you're going to turn left. You'll see it coming down Holmes line. Looks like it's a fully involved bank barn. We do have multiple exposures. I'd like to deploy 2.5 when you get here, but I want to leave room for ladder 2 once we get this knocked down.
Yeah, roger that. Want tanker from Teeswater?
Yeah, Roger, engine 1. I have locked no Teeswater, Howick, all coming.
Roger that. We're just passing the cemetery.
Dispatch, car 2.
Sorry, car 2, go ahead.
Dispatch, car 2.
Car 2, go ahead.
Dispatch, we have a fully involved farm fire. We do have multiple exposures. I have made contact with the owners of the farm.
Roger that, car 2, you have a fully engulfed bank barn, multiple exposures. You've made contact with the owners. I'm just doing a second page out for Howick at this time.
Yeah, Roger that. You can mark car 2 in command and mobile.
Roger that, car 2 in command and mobile, 1035.
Car 4 on scene as well.
Relay?
Sorry, units, I copied car 4. Another unit was put there.
Yeah, you show car 4 on scene.
Roger, car 4 on scene, 1036.
Car 2, this is tank 4. We've had engine 1 rollover. Engine 1 rollover.
Roger that, tank 4. Tank 4, I'll have you proceed to the scene.
Car 2, car 1's on scene. Engine 1 is on its side here. I'm just going to check with the occupants here.
Dispatch copies, engine 1's rolled over. If you need EMS or any assistance there, please let dispatch know.
Fire dispatch, North Eastern Command.
Don't hear in command, go ahead.
Dispatch, I'm going to need a full response to the Teeswater. I'd like you to redirect the EMS truck and OPP to that rollover, please.
Engine 1, can you give me your location, please?
Dispatch, engine 1 is on Holmes line by the cemetery.
Car 2, it's on Glen Annan now. It's on Glen Annan at that intersection of Holmes and Glen Annan.
Roger that, tank 4. Where's ladder 2?
Car 2, ladder 2's just coming up by Rona right now.
Roger that, ladder 2. I need you straight up in here. I want to protect this barn if we can.
Roger that. What's the best way to go? Straight down Holmes line or come down and around the horseshoe?
Come down Holmes line and turn left onto Glen Annan.
Roger that. Fire dispatch, control ladder 2, responding Charlie Alpha, Belted.
Dispatch, car 2.
Fire dispatch, you can show engine 6 responding, hotel plus 2 belted. Engine 6 responding, hotel plus 2 belted. Car 2, go ahead please, it's 1038.
Dispatch, I don't know if you caught my last transmission, but if you can get a full response out of Teeswater, please.
That's Roger, car 2, I have Teeswater responding, full response.
Yeah, you can give them an update on why if they have some confusion.
Ladder 2, car 1. Go ahead, car 1, ladder 2. When you come by here, I want you to stop quickly at engine 1. I need an attic ladder off that truck to get everyone out. And then you guys can continue on to the fire. Roger that, you need an attic ladder. Command, call ladder 2. Fire dispatch, you can show ladder 2 on scene.
Ladder 2, command.
Go ahead, command, ladder 2.
We're behind the game already. I'd like to get that truck set up in here. We also need to leave room for tankers, but I really want to support this one dairy barn that's not going yet, but we've only got seconds to stop it.
Roger that, we're coming in the laneway right now. Do you want us to drive right back there?
Drive straight in. Come underneath the hydro lines and we'll set it up.
Roger that. Fire dispatch, North here on car 1.
Go ahead, car 1.
Dispatch, can I get Morris Turnberry notified so that they can close this road down, please? Glen Annan Road from Holmes Line west.
Roger that, car 1 requesting Morris Turnberry respond to close Glen Annan Road, 1043.
Fire dispatch, car 1.
Go ahead.
Dispatch, you can show EMS on scene at the fire truck rollover. We do have a couple firefighters that are going to get checked out by EMS here.
That's Roger, EMS on scene at the fire truck rollover. A couple firefighters being seen by EMS, 1045.
So I guess it could have been worse. Thankfully, one of the firefighters, I didn't include it, because it was almost 11 minutes anyways what I showed, but it got pretty intense there for a while. One of the firefighters was taken to the hospital, but apparently, according to the news, it was all minor injuries, so nobody was really hurt bad, thankfully. So, problem is, Engine 1, in my opinion, is our most important truck. It holds the most firefighters. I think it seats 6. It's all, if there's a CO alarm or something small, a medical assist or anything, it's always the one that responds to that. It has its own water tank on it. It's our pumper. It has its own water tank on it, and if it's first on scene, it can start spraying water before anybody else gets there, before it gets hooked up to a hydrant. It's basically it's ready to go, right? So they it's kind of hectic. That's why they wanted a full response out of Teeswater. Teeswater, of all the fire departments that were responding, they were the closest. And they needed that pumper there like right away. So as far as ladder 2, I don't know. They needed ladder 2 in there right away to save the second burn, but I don't know if it's able to spray water on its own. I don't know enough about that, but it almost sounded like that, you know, had that ability. But engine 1 is the one when we had the fire across the street here. That's the truck that was out on the road there. At the moment, we don't have one. The fire department got a call yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Day before, actually, I think. I don't know. But they went to, there was a fire alarm, and I'm listening to them responding. I'm like, I don't hear engine 1. But they're getting engine 6 now from Blythe, which is their pumper. So we're relying on their pumper to come from Blythe, and Blythe is not close, okay? It takes a while for it to get here. So I don't know what kind of damage there was. I'll show you the picture from the news. You can see where the truck is. And I just, you'll recognize that intersection. Those of you who have been watching me for a while, that's one of the places I take a break. And when I heard, I looked outside, because I think it's, you know, we got a lot of rain. We didn't have any snow. It wasn't freezing temperatures. So I'm thinking, okay, the roads aren't wet, but that dirt road, I know it's a narrow road, and it's a dirt road. So I'm thinking of the possibilities of what could happen. So immediately I'm thinking it's right at the intersection. So Holmes Line is a tar and chip road. If you don't know what that is, they spray the road with tar and then drop these little tiny gravel chips onto it. They call it tar and chip, and the tar just kind of glues them down, right? But it only holds so much, and right after they've done that, you get these piles of this soft stuff on the sides of the roads, right? And in an intersection, you get this stuff piled up, and it gets pretty slippery. And the other issue is when people come down the dirt road, they come up to the stop sign, a lot of the gravel gets flipped forward onto the pavement, and it's kind of like, you know, driving on marbles, right? Plus, this time of year, you know, we've had a couple of snowfalls, and the snowplows don't plow the dirt roads. They use graders, which have teeth in them that dig into the ice and create, you know, the ability for people to get traction. So when it gets to that intersection, it's going to pull some gravel up onto there as well. So I'm picturing in my mind that the fire truck turned onto this gravel road as they're making the transition, got onto that slick stuff, and maybe it was driving a little too fast for the turn, and slid into the ditch. Well, thankfully, that's not what happened. And I say thankfully because at that spot, that ditch is really deep. And that would not have been, you know, a nice landing at the bottom. So when I saw the news picture, the fire truck is up the road a bit. So it had nothing to do with taking the corner too fast. So I have two possible guesses. First of all, if you see the picture, the road's really slick mud, so it might be slippery as it is. But with all this rain that we got and the snow melting and everything, the sides of the road are going to be very squishy, I guess you could say, not very supportive of weight. So I'm thinking maybe they got too close to the edge, and because that truck has a water tank on it, it's a heavy truck, right? And it just maybe got into the edge of the road where it's really soft and squishy right now, which allowed it to tilt, and it just tilted too far and went over. That's one possibility. Other possibility, I'm looking, you can see dual tire tracks. in the grass right where the fire truck is. So I'm thinking, well, maybe because the road's so narrow, maybe there was a car coming the other way and it moved over, you know, to pass and got into that, and same thing, right? It just tilted too far and went over. But I got thinking, well, those tire tracks could have came from ladder 2 when it stopped to drop off a ladder for them to get the firemen out of the truck. It could have came from the ambulance, right? So that might not be actually from the fire truck itself, but there are dual tracks that are sunk into, you know, the grassy area. But I'm looking at this picture, and I don't know if they hit that hydro pole, because the one hydro pole looks like it's broken, but there are power lines hanging from it, so it could just be leaning from the stress, right? I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't know. But as far as what damage there may be, I don't know if it's repairable. At minimum, the right side of the cab is going to be crushed. I don't know. But I was talking to Cody about it, and he said once you tilt them things past 50 degrees, the frame will twist. He said, and they're no good after that. So I don't know if it's repairable. I hope it is. That would be the cheapest route. But I don't know if we'll get a brand new truck or a used truck from somewhere else, or if this one's repairable. I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody about it. I don't know. I don't know what the procedure is, but you know, that kind of leaves us vulnerable for a little bit. But either way, like I said, thankfully, at least, you know, only minor injuries. But I decided, you know, that kind of motivated me to go out. There's going to be a lot of fire trucks coming into town, refilling. And I kind of got, it was a rainy day that day. It kind of alternated between rain and snow and rain and snow. It was nasty. So I got to use the umbrella on my camera for the first time. Actual real use of it, right? I need a bigger one. I just, you know, because the rain's coming on an angle, so I had to have it tilted. And I had water dripping off the bottom of my viewing screen here, so the viewing screen's getting wet, and I don't know if it's waterproof. I don't want to take that chance, right? I haven't even finished paying for this camera yet. So I need a bigger umbrella. I think what I might do is you can get clips that clip onto your tripod itself that'll hold a full-size umbrella. I might just get one of those. I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is that little tiny thing I have just isn't... it works. It keeps the camera dry, but it doesn't cover the whole thing. So I'm going to have to deal with that. But I guessed where the fire trucks would be refilling based on their location. I guessed right. In the summertime, I could have gone right out to where they were. Like, I wouldn't go to the farm. I know exactly where the farm is, where the barn. I know which barn, you know, would have been burning. But because there's only one farm out there. But the fire trucks getting out that road, I would have gotten away if I tried to go out there. But this time of year I couldn't anyways. I wouldn't take a chance on the monster's charge, you know, lasting all the way out there. Because it's only the first road out of town, but it's a long distance out. So I got up to the cemetery and I saw the fire trucks refilling on my way there. It's exactly where I thought they'd be. So I'm looking at the best place to sit, where I have a good vantage point. So I decided to go into the cemetery right at the corner. So where they're at is from the cemetery. You head out of town, take the first left, and that road, it's like a big triangle. Go down the swamp and come back, and basically what they do, the fire trucks would make a loop. They'd go out that way, and then they'd come back in the other way. So I'm sitting in the corner of the cemetery. It's a perfect spot because the fire trucks are going out this way and they're coming in this way and they're refilling right in front of me. It was a perfect place to sit. It was set up nicely. So I sat there for, I don't know, maybe a couple hours. I got some pretty good video of that. After a while, my hands just got too cold. I just stopped playing with the camera. I just set it, zoom to a certain distance so I could see everything. I just let it go. Record as is. I couldn't wear my gloves because they were soaking wet. I couldn't be without my gloves. It was too cold, so I just, okay. I can't play with the camera. I'll just let it record as it is. So I did get some refilling video anyways. Problem is, our power went off a couple times. So I'm still, I don't know, it was like 7 or 8 hours altogether. And the power went off, and when it came back on, I didn't want to take a chance on losing the recording I already had, so I saved the files, moved them out of that, the directory where it saves them, and started a new one. And then the power went off again, so I saved those and started a third one. And once it was over, I save it normally, save it through the program. Problem is, I couldn't get the program to reopen these previous project files. And I'm thinking, oh no, because there's thousands of files. It saves the recording in 1 megabyte chunks, and they are in basically randomly named folders. Each folder's got, I think, 255 randomly named files. I can't just stitch the files together and make an audio recording because they're all mixed up. So I'm thinking, well, I tried everything. I looked through all the things. It said how to, reopen a project or whatever, but it only loads the first file. And if I try to open multiple files, it opens each one on a separate track. It's like, no, I need them all on the same track, one after the other. I'm thinking, oh, what am I gonna do? Because I had about 5 to 7 hours of nothing, like blank recording, before the call came in, because it was recording before I went to bed, right? So, like I said, there's thousands of these little bits, and I wasn't sure what to do about it. Nothing would work. So I got thinking, I've had to do that before, and I couldn't remember how I was able to do it. So I was downstairs making a coffee, and then all of a sudden it hit me. Anything you do in your computer, every file that's created has a creation date, and it's got the time right down to the seconds and that. So I remember now. All I have to do is arrange the files in order of creation date. Now, the problem is, I can't copy these files into another folder and rename them in order, because as soon as I copy these files, they automatically have a new creation date, and they're going to be created in the order they were copied, not the order they were originally made. So I have to be very careful, because I'm dealing with the original files, and if anything happens, I'm not going to be able to fix it. So what I did was each folder, I had them sorted by creation date, renamed them, and I did that with each folder. And decided to wait till that noisy truck went by, because this camera has a tendency of picking up background noises very well. So Did that with each folder, and then stitched all the little audio files together to make one file. Did that with each folder, and I think number 21, folder number 21, was where the actual audio recording started. So the first 20, I spent all that time doing, blank recording. So I finally found the start of it, and I got that done. And then once I had each of those folders in one file, then I stitched all those files together in order, and I was able to, get everything back. So the first recording was like 7 hours long, and before the power went out, and the second one, I don't remember how long it was, so I had to do that with the second one. The third one I didn't have to do anything with because I saved it right through the program. I thought I lost it. I just, there's no way I could go through each of those individual 1 megabyte files and decide, where each one fits. Jigsaw puzzle, right? So that kind of worried me, but I saved it. Everything's good. I guess that's all I got. I don't think there's anything else. I guess that's it. So if you're interested, that night we got more snow, and early in the morning, like I say, it was like 4 o'clock when I went out, when I went to Timmy's. I went for a nice night tour through the trail. Can't go too far at this time of day, this time of year. Battery charge just doesn't last long enough. So I'm glad that I put my reset button on the monster so I can stop and reset the battery meter, because when I go up those big hills, by the time I get to the top, I'm on a low battery warning, and I have no clue how much power I've actually got left. So once I get to the top of the hill, I reset it, and it goes back to normal, and I'm only down like a couple bars, so we're good that way. So I'll show that tour, regular speed with music, for those of you who might want to watch it.